I'm Marcus Swank. My son is Cameron. He's 5, and we, my family and I, Lane, my wife, and Cameron, and our little girl, Emery, have been involved in FEAT for the last 2 years. And FEAT was really our beginning with the autism journey. When we began to suspect that Cameron had issues, we were directed to FEAT by an acquaintance and walked in really uninitiated, had no idea what was going on, but a lot of frustration that nobody had any idea what was going on.
I received a phone call driving to a meeting, something called an ARD, which was all new language for me, and literally my husband called me on my cell phone and said they've diagnosed Tripp. It's something called autism.
Well, we got a diagnosis for my son Noah at age 3, and until that point, actually before that, when he was 2, I was kind of in denial that he actually had autism.
My son was actually undiagnosed until he was 4. He was delayed since birth, and I looked at the website and I was like, he has every one of those signs, and you know, he'd been to a neurologist, geneticist, everything, so. But yeah, I mean, they opened up a huge door for me because he finally started getting the interventions that he needed instead of doing, nothing was working. So it was amazing. I was very pivotal in his life, so yeah.
We got the diagnosis at 3, and from that point on till we met FEAT, which has been about 12 months, now that our son's 4, we finally have a plan. We just never really felt we had a plan, but now we have a plan of action, and it's really affected us as a marriage. It's built us, my wife and I, just strengthened our marriage in the sense that we are in this together. We are in this to find the hope that we once thought was lost. And so we have actually seen our son through this process just absolutely bust through barriers that we never thought were possible. When we moved here to the Mid-Cities area and hooked up with FEAT, not only did we have a plan, but then we had a plan of action. I mean, we had other people who had already journeyed this journey that we are going on currently. And as we started listening to other people, we didn't feel crazy anymore.
So walked into an autism, to an Asperger's support group on a Wednesday night. And it was us and the facilitator and our kids, and thankfully a child care worker and an adult with Asperger's. And so in that first meeting, it was a real eye-opening experience, because for months we'd been told it's all going to be okay. Don't worry, he's going to either grow out of it or things will change. Just hang in there. Things are going to be okay. And so to have the FEAT facilitator sit down and say, here's what you need to do, was a really eye-opening experience for us. To understand that we had a role in the outcome was both daunting and empowering.
I learned about my diagnosis when I was 9 years old. My parents sat me on the couch and they told us, Tripp, we all have strengths and weaknesses, and God made us unique and special. They had me read a book. It was about Asperger's, or autism, and they told me about it, and that's when I truly understood that I had autism. I had always known I was different than other kids, but I didn't know it was something like with my brain thing.
FEAT is hope.
FEAT as a beginning is really when I go back to, and I'd start anybody here that's had been in the same place, and we've seen dozens of families in the time come in and really have that same encouragement, empowerment, and challenge laid down before them, understanding that this is something that is going to impact your life for the rest of your life. Your parents don't get it, your pediatrician doesn't get it, your teachers aren't going to get it, but so this is what you've got to do to make sure that your child has the best outcome possible. And that's just not being offered anywhere else, especially on a local basis. And so that that beginning point is so critically important for families like ours.
FEAT was a foundation for us, and there is so much information and sifting through it and making decisions is overwhelming. And autism is a challenging spectrum disorder that shows up in all different flavors. And one of the things about it, one of the diagnoses or descriptions is some isolating. And if you think you see isolation for kiddos as a challenge, it is a difficult thing for parents. And FEAT is an organization and a place. It's a community. And it's a group and it's a team. And it was really critical to our success from a standpoint of success of knowing what direction to head and having the support in that direction. FEAT is a place where it provides support, it supplies programs, it provides incredible professionals from our local community that come here and provide workshops of the highest caliber that then parents take and they can work with for months and then be able to come back and step back into a half-day workshop and then once again move forward in order to support their children. So FEAT has really been critical to helping us move through this. And really, to Trip sitting here next to me today,